Back at you live in effect. All right. All right. Hey, Shalom. Getting that Charlotte midweek camp back at you live in effect. Before we get started with this live camp, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakodash. Hey, double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, and to all his children. Double salutations to all you Hakim out there laboring, the elect, just pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you brothers, man. Shalom. Hey, heavy times, heavy things is happening. All right, we're going to touch on prophecy. All right. You see now, hey, it's getting more intense. All right, you just had another shooting. Right, for those that have been paying attention to what's happening right now. So it's a time that, look, be totally locked into the spirit, all right, and be as circumspect as ever, man. All right, a lot of psyops going out, especially dealing with Jake, who was talking about that. You know, the so-called shooter was in Texas, correct? Was a damn, you know, damn transformer, man. Alphabet soup, right? And then the Northern Kingdom at that. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, this man, he's painting Jake to be a terrorist, man. Because really, this is dealing with the Northern and Southern Kingdom. Really, hey, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, that is Americans, Hispanics, man. Right? Esau is ready to roll on Jake, man. Right? So, as I was saying, go to Romans the 8th chapter. Right? We got to be locked and loaded in the spirit, man.
Romans chapter 8, verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahushai, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushai hath made me free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, the Most High, sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh.
Right, now you see the importance of the Yahushua. Right? Not being judged, all right, according to the law, man. You see what I'm saying? And having that mercy through the Lord. You know? Go ahead.
That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit.
Read on.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
Right, especially identifying what's going on right now, man. Esau is playing off a lot of emotions, man. There's a lot of false flags and psyops popping off right now, man. You know, we was going into that in camp, man. The distractions, all right, the perplexity of the people, the distress, right? Those sorrows from all sides. Hold that in 2 Ezra 16, right? Going back to what the brother was saying earlier, the squeeze. The squeeze is happening on all levels, man. They coming after your freedom. They coming after your guns, your so-called rights and constitutions, right? Here it is. You got these devils on a panel, all right, on a global panel with suits on, talking about how they finna ruin your fucking life. You see what I'm saying? Or how they about to make changes for the future of America, and we already know where that's headed, man. So you gotta be really locked in, man. Don't be mindful of it. Read that again.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
Right.
But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
Right, so we mind things of the Spirit because we know that all this means is what? Ultimately, Yahweh Shai is on his way back. We understand that prophecy has to come to pass. These different things have to come to pass in order for us to obtain the kingdom of heaven. Right? So ultimately what the Lord is doing, all right, those that have eyes to see, he's preparing you for the straight gate, man. The difficult times that are going to come on the earth. We're going to hear Revelation 16. All right, hold that on that. Keep reading out.
Verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Right, and especially you got these jakes, right, from these different groups, brandishing guns, right, you Hebrew Thuggalites, all that, you know, you trying to go against Esau and all of that. Hey, it's good to say to be carnally minded is death, man. And we know, as we said before, we know a lot of these guys are going to be used for the blame of the ministry, man. You all over social media flexing, doing all this stupid shit, right? And the scriptures tell us to abstain from all appearances of evil, man. Come on, man. But Jake ain't thinking. See? We don't.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be.
That's right, read on.
So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High.
They that are in the flesh cannot please your Yahweh. This is the time that you cast off the flesh, cast off the works of darkness, man. Put on the spirit. Walk in the spirit, man. Because remember, the scriptures tell us that what? That Satan roams seeking to whom he may devour. So we see the tricks of the trade, man. We on the tip of the iceberg of this thing, man. Right? We know that this man is about to make that ultimate move. Right? Read on that.
Verse 9. I'll start back verse 8. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit. If so be that the Spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his.
Right. You got to be operating in the spirit, in the true spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. You know, it's like the scripture said. If not, you are none of his. And it's going to be identified in these times of who's really serving the Lord and who's not. Who really has the truth and who really doesn't. Because as we was talking, man, right? Go to Revelation 22, right? You either locked in this thing, all right, prepared to go to war, spiritual war, or not, man. Because all the other Jakes out here, 2/3 of our people, they're gonna get caught up in the snare, right? The device is ready, Jake. All we were set up to do is to warn our people, man. Right? This thing is about to close out.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 6. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true.
Right, the words that are written are faithful and true. Right? Read on.
And the Lord power of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done.
You see that, man. You see the things that's getting ready to happen, man. Jacob's trouble, martial law, the shortage of everything, man. Right? We talking about gas hitting $10 in certain states right now, man. Or getting to that point. Your ass not going nowhere this summer. Right? You got the global elite on stage, all right, on a global platform on the stage, telling you about the future of America, what's about to change, the transition. You know?
Verse 7. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book.
Right, blessed is he that keepeth the sayings, right? The prophecies of this book. That's what it's all about. Read on.
And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. Then said he unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book worship the Most High. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand.
The time is at hand. That's all we can really tell our people. Is that the time of the end is at hand. The time of the salvation of the elect and the destruction of the wicked, man. That time is at hand. You are witnessing the end of days. Right? Read on.
He that is unjust, let him be unjust still.
Right, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still, man. Right, read on.
And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still.
Right, hey, you want to be a nigga, you want to be caught up in the cares of the life, the latest trends, the rudiments of the world, like the scriptures say. Right, let him be filthy still, man. Right? Go ahead.
And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
Right, so the ones that can get it, the ones that receive it, hang on to the truth, man. Stay hung on to strong doctrine, man. The wisdom and knowledge and understanding should be the stability of thy times, man. So he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, man. Right? The The Lord's about to close up shop, man. You either with the Lord or you against him. Right? You're either going to make it or not. You see what I'm saying? You're either part of the Lord's elect or you're not, man. Right? The hell with all the different games, gimmicks. It's all about the God-honest truth, man. Where do you fall at? Read on.
Verse 12. And behold, I come quickly.
The Lord said he coming quickly, man. You don't see that? Right? A brother had made mention. As soon as we got through the blood moon, which is what, 2 weeks ago? Look at all this shit that's been happening since then, man. Right? This is like 2 shootings less than a couple weeks apart. You see what I'm saying? So it's obvious. There's an obvious agenda, all right, that needs to be pushed. Right? Remember, the time is short. Matthew 24. Hold that. Matthew 24 was it 21 and 22? Give me that real quick. Right? This devil is pressed for time. You know? God, yeah, you go over there too. Bring it out. What you got out? Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
That's right.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Right, it said, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. You talking about the planet, man. Right? You talking about a trouble that's going to try the world, like the Lord said. Read on.
For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Man, he's pressed for time, man. Right? Like I said, that's why these people you see, all right, at the World Economic Forum with their suits on, basically talking about how they're going to enslave all humanity. And you got people laughing and snickering and clapping, right?
And you know what's crazy? Whenever you look at somebody that's frantic or they're pressed for time, how do they operate? They move irrationally. Here it is, this devil is telling the people to their face how he wants to pretty much track your quote-unquote carbon footprint.
Right.
He don't give a fuck about your carbon footprint. If he did, he wouldn't be having all these different corporations polluting the earth. What he's using that is, he's using that as a way to introduce the Quran, man. All right? To pretty much push and indoctrinate the masses into his New World Order.
That's it.
You see? But he's doing it so sloppy because why? It said, because he knows he have a short time, man. This nigga moving frantic.
Right.
This nigga is moving, he's just telling people straight to their face, look, this is what we gonna do.
That's it.
This is it.
Right.
Are y'all ready for the New World Order?
Right.
And the masses of the people saying, hell yeah. Because this is their master, this is their servant. You see? As the scripture said in Revelations, it said, let the unjust be unjust and the filthy be filthy, man. You see? And all these niggas that want to partake in the system, that's how the Lord views you, man.
Yeah.
All those that don't turn back to Yahweh Bashem Shai. We're gonna get thrusted through when this devil comes down, man.
That's it. And see, these people are going to be willingly ready to tap into the system, man. That's the spirit. Apostle Ramla brought out a quote from Henry Kissinger. What he said that if you control the oil, you control the nation. If you control the food, you control the people. Right? So they're openly, through their pride, telling you what they're doing, man. Right? They're basically telling you, look, we're about to initiate total control over the planet, man. Right? And people have no sense of urgency about it, you know? We're the only ones crying out. Psalm 94, 16, read what you got. 24, 21 to 22. Right?
Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as what was not since the beginning of the world,
Right.
to this time, nor ever shall be.
Right. What was you saying about the gas and the power grid?
A lot of America's power grids are ran off of natural gas, man. There's a natural gas shortage right now.
There you go.
So that's why they keep announcing that it's going to be rolling blackouts up and down the East Coast. And even if you go overseas, they say it's some like 1 billion people that are in danger of having blackouts throughout the whole summer coming up, man.
Yeah. This is it. Everything is being piled up in the spirit for that great disaster. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Right. What's my man name from from the World Economic Forum where he said humans are no longer needed? All right, you see what I'm saying? He's openly telling you that you don't need to wait on the second coming of the Lord. Right? Humans are hackable. These are the things that these top of the top, elitists, if you will, are telling the people, man. So if the Lord, read that again.
Matthew 24:22. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved.
The days got to speed up. This thing could really be over by the end of the year next year, You got to have that mindset, man. It could really be it.
That's why the scriptures tell us in 2 Ezra chapter 9 to do what? Measure the time diligently within itself. As we've been going through this whole lesson, we see, everything is picking up speed. The scriptures say what? The Lord come as a thief in the night, man. So there's so much shit going on right now. There's so much shit going on right now that the masses of the people aren't even aware of what's the big agenda at hand, man. As the elder was saying, all these different psyops that are occurring, man. You see?
Is that it?
Continuing on. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be short.
Right. So for the elect's sake, for the chosen, for those who are predestinated, right? The Lord, he has shortened the days. Right? That's why we're in the spirit of hastening the Lord, the coming of the Lord, the year turn up. Right? All these things equate salvation, man. Right? Even that Psalms 94:16. Right?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoer?
Right, the Lord is asking the question, who's going to rise up, especially in these times, man?
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Who's going to stand up for the Lord against the workers of iniquity, man? It has to be, it had to take somebody to speak out against us, man. The Lord said he was going to raise up, give me Obadiah 1 and 21, the last verse. Right? The Lord said he was going to raise up saviors on the Mount of Esau, man. That was going to declare the fall of this goddamn devil, man, because he thinks he's the Most High. He thinks he's God, right? You got it.
Because by us crying aloud, you see, and calling out this devil for who it is, for who he is, we hope to receive a mark of exemption. You see, Ezekiel 9:4, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. All right, we know that Jerusalem is a people before it is a place. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right, when you look up that word mark, it goes into the Hebrew word tawab. All right, tawab, meaning exempt from judgment. You see, and that's what we want, man. We want to be exempt from the judgment that's gonna befall the masses of these people out here, man. Because the overwhelming majority of our nation aren't gonna make it on this side. But it's gonna be a slim number of the elect that's gonna make it. Lord willing, we be a part of that. You know, you sincere listeners out there, you sincere believers, y'all be a part of it as well, man. Auto one ruts us out. You see? But we fighting for that mark of exemption, man. To hell with this society. Everything that this society perpetuates goes against the grain of what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai deems as proper.
That's why it's got to be a new heaven and new earth. I got you, what you said. That protection. This is Psalm 91, verse 4. Psalm 91 and 4, it says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust, dealing with the angels. Right? Chariots. You know? That's why, there's been a lot of chariots appearing of brothers' camps, man. The Lord is confirming that he's with his men. Those faith boosters, man. The Lord said that what? That I would be with you to the end of the world always, man. Right? Psalms 91 and 4 says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. See? Linking that up with Isaiah 33 and 6. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times. The scriptures say what? His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler, man. You know? Verse 5, it says, thou should not be afraid for the terror by night. Right? And we're coming into that time now, man. Right? You're talking about total control, full power dealing with the WHO, man. right? Dealing with all manners of crises, right? It says, nor for the arrow that fly by day, which is ultimately what? The missiles, right? Verse 6, it says, nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday, man. So as we always go into what? The height of this man's rulership. This is why he gets on the platform and tells you that, look, we about to replace humans with AI, man. You know, we no longer need human beings. We got to reduce the population. This is why he's able to get on these platforms and speak like that, man. You know, it says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. All right? We're at the point of what? The transitioning of the world order, so to speak. The Karagma, you know, the crashing of the economy, you know. It says, yeah, let me read this real quick. It says, verse 7, it says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh unto thee. So meaning, Lord willing, right, we are of the Lord's elect, the Lord pass over us. See?
That's a beautiful point that you just had. Brother, and get a precept back up.
Psalms chapter 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivered them.
So, hey, what is the fear of the Lord? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So those men that have that understanding, that are supping with Yahweh Bashim outside, the angels are going to be protecting them in that day. And they're going to be delivered, man. And they're going to be delivered. We don't want to partake in this devil's destruction at all. We don't want no smoke with Yahweh Bashim outside. So we're not taking no risk. We're not going to be prideful. We're not going to be boastful. Amen. We're just going to give it the program. All right? Which is righteousness now. You see?
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hands of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them, man. So if the Lord is with us, man, who can be against us, right? Well, there's nothing that Esau can do to come against the men of the Lord that could take us out of the hand of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Chapter 16. Chapter 16, verse 27. And it reads, for the Son of Man shall come in his glory of his Father with his angels. Then he shall reward every man according to his works. And the scriptures talk about that, man. Every man is going to be rewarded to his works, his deed, the effort you put in, man. The work you put in. All right? To make your salvation and election sure, right? Verse 28. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in this kingdom, man. You see that? So the Lord said that there be some that will not taste of death. There's men that the Lord is going to preserve, right, from the coming destruction. Luke, 21 and 36. You know, watch and pray always that you be worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. You see?
Acts chapter 5, verse 39. But if it be of the Most High, he cannot overthrow, lest haply he be found even to fight against the Most High.
Because, see, what these devils don't realize is they're not coming against the nation of Israel solely. You're coming against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You're coming against the true living power who gave you the power to do what you do, who gave you the role in this play. You see? Yep. And now you're setting yourself up for the kill, man. Because ultimately, by you setting up these by you setting up all these different programs, all right? The World Health Organization, what do you say it was called? The germs?
Global epidemic response task force.
Right. All these different things that are being set up, ultimately we know is to push the people through that initiation into the New World Order with that charagma, all right? But you ultimately, these devils really think that they're going to be able to get the upper hand against what we do, man.
Yeah, that's a pride.
That's that pride of this devil, man. Not understanding that you're actually going against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
That's it.
And the believers, as we just been going through certain precepts, to understand that anything that you do to the believers, man, understand that the Lord is ultimately the one who sets them. And he's going to be delivering them. So it don't matter what this devil does, what he says, what he thinks that he can fathom within his head, man, he won't be able to win over the believers, man.
God, I got you real quick before you bring that out. This is Jeremiah, right? Just to add on to that point, Jeremiah 30:7, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." You see that? So the Lord has those that he's going to preserve, man. It said that he shall be saved out of it, right? Ultimately dealing with the elect, right? Those who are destined to be covered. You know, the Lord said there'll be some standing here that should not taste of death. See? Now, you have something? You want to bring it out? Bring it out.
Segue into
Bring it out.
the economics.
Bring it out, because I got something for it.
Because that Jacob's trouble, which we're at the early stages of it, you got to understand, shit is going to get worse as the time moves forward, man.
That's it.
There's no going back to the quote-unquote good days, which Jake got to understand was nothing good to begin with, right? But the times that we're coming into are going to get progressively worse, day by day, and we see that.
Yeah, the Spirit of the Lord is getting rid of comfort, man.
That's right. You hold Luke 21 and 25. Now, you had things going on throughout the media. You have the everything shortage, which is affecting what? Baby formula, the import of goods. You see the food rationing, the ability to purchase a certain amount of items at the grocery store. You see, all of these things are progressively getting worse. There's no resolution that can be found after the effect of the thing. You see, right? And 19. You see, all of this has been set up to create the disruption and shortages that you see, which ultimately, as the elder said, the Spirit of the Lord is taking away that comfort, man. Because a lot of these Babylonians, right, in their confusion, right, they believe that things are normal, when in all actuality it's not. Now, you also have reports from the S&P 500, which is one of the indexes for the markets to gauge different businesses. But essentially, the projections that investors are given from these different companies is, look, hey, prepare for a bull market. Now, when you look into a bull market, not a bull market, it's a bear market. Now, when you look into a bear market is pretty much stating that the economy is going downward. You see, as opposed to a bull market, which is going upward, which is kind of the state when the pandemic had began. It was quote unquote a bull market because of the demands surging because of the low supply. But it created high demand since there was low supply. But now all of that shit is starting to come to nothing, because what? Now you factor in hyperinflation. You see, and all these people, they can't afford to get their basic necessities as much as they once did, because the wage gap is constantly expanding to the point where a lot of people aren't able to get the necessities that they want, the goods that they want. You see, all of this is forwarding the discomfort. You see.
Right, this is Isaiah 31. Right, right, this is Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30 and 12, and it reads. Matter of fact, I'll start up. Isaiah 30:9, it says that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, but said to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. You know? Yeah, go ahead.
Because a lot of Jake, when they hear this word, it offends their spirit because they're not right within themselves, man.
That's right.
They've been totally indoctrinated into this satanic system. So whenever they hear the truth, it fucks with them. You see, they want to hear what Pastor Porkchop got to say after he just got done banging somebody's wife.
Right.
That's where they want to take the message from. That's where they want their truth from.
Right.
You see, they rather hear smooth things than what's really the truth.
Right.
Because the truth is unadulterated and it's gonna hurt your feelings.
It's bitter.
It's bitter. But they don't want that.
Verse 11, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
That's what these niggas be saying, man. They say it directly or indirectly.
Right.
When they walk by, they scoff, they scorn, they make jokes, they look at us with crooked faces.
Hey.
That's how Jake really is, man.
Hey, where's your French quarters?
Verse 12,
First quarters is right there.
it says, wherefore thus saith the
love
Holy One of
Jesus.
Israel, because you despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. 13, the point, it says, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
Hey, so the calamities that's about to befall Jake, it's gonna come, as it said, instant, man.
Instant.
Look at, as the elder was mentioning, Shalaki, as the elder was mentioning the blood moon. 2 weeks have passed since then.
Yes.
And look at all the shit that's just happening, man.
Yep.
Left and right, it's so much shit going on, it's hard to keep up with.
That's it.
The prophecies is gonna pop up like just rapid fire, man.
Wow.
You see?
Yeah, it's Isaiah 45, right? It's Isaiah 45, verse 7, and it reads, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. It's the Lord. Have an evil been done in the city, and I, the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, have not done it? Unto the Lord belong the issues from death. Right? Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, do all these things, man. So this is the Lord turning it all up, man. Right? As we've been telling you that from the beginning of this year. Year eternal, man.
Hey, that's 100% the spirit of the Lord, man.
That's it.
Hastening the return of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Because he is fastly approaching. As we've been going through this lesson, man, if you look at all the times and the seasons, matter of fact, are you holding something? Okay, can you get that Luke 21?
So Luke chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon.
Hey, wasn't we just talking about that?
Yep.
That blood moon, man. Look at all the things that have occurred since then. You see?
And in the stars and upon the earth.
Look at all the signs that you see in your neighborhood, man. You can't even get gas without fucking scratching your head and saying, damn, I wonder if there's another one that got tripping gas.
Looking in your wallet right.
Like, damn, you got gas higher than the 8 honor roll students GPA.
Yeah, straight up.
It's ridiculously high, man.
Yeah.
Jake doesn't even have the savings to tap into to sustain themselves.
Yeah, you don't have a chance, Jake.
You don't have any type of infrastructure to say that you can do this shit, man.
Yeah.
This society is literally boxing you in and squeezing everything out of you.
That's why we say, what else, all this shit that's going on, what else can America offer you niggas, man?
Right.
For those that are content, right? The Lord said, woe unto them that are at ease in Zion, man. What else can America offer you right now, man? Right? You get hit with the through-pox, that's on the scene, right? You already know they got the, brothers are saying they got the juice ready to go. You know, they're already talking about Dr. Fauci. He already talking about the lockdowns, right? And they said, they've been saying if another round of lockdowns come, this younger generation is going to lose it.
Nah, they are.
They're talking about suicide rates through the roof, depression, mass anxiety, all types of stuff, man.
Yeah.
So you get ready to see things even amplify even more once they take it there, man. Right?
And that's beautiful that you said that, because hey, it's just a precept that we get more into. We're going to see that.
Yep.
Continuing on. And upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring.
Right.
Perplexity, though, as we was going into, that's the state of the people, man. Distress, anguished, you know, clueless, man. The uncertainty that's on people's spirits, especially now, they talking about that people only got enough food to eat or enough money to basically eat once out the day. It ain't no more 3 meals a day, man. You got certain families out here that are becoming limited to 1 meal a day, man. Right?
Okay. When you look up that word perplexity, all right, it goes back to aporeia, but when you look at the root word of aporeia, it goes into aporeia, which states, it's G639, to be without resources, to be in straits.
To be without resources. That's in the scriptures. Perplexity. When you don't know where your next bill coming from, come on, man.
You don't know if you're going to be able to get gas. You don't know if you're going to be able to get food. You don't know if you're going to be able to get your everyday necessities that you became comfortable.
Yeah.
See, as the elder said, the Lord is stripping that spirit and comfort from these damn Babylonians, man. And they don't have no cover. Matter of fact, bro, could you hold Isaiah 30 and 17 around there?
You said the comfortability is the Lord is taking away the comfortability of our people, man. Right? It's Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24 and verse 8, it says, the mirth of the tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, and the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. You see that? The city of confusion is broken down, every house is shut up, that no man may come in, man. And that's what's going on, man. That's the state of the people. The city of confusion, Babylon, is being broken down by the Spirit of the Lord, man. Right? These are the distresses that you're starting to see on every side, man. Right? Going back to the confusion and the perplexity and the confusion of the people, man. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone, man. You see? All the shit is, all the mirth, all the crime, right? You know, you having the liberty, the comfort. Hey, the Lord's eliminating that shit. You know? So now what are you going to do, right, when your so-called freedom is taken away, man? Right? What kind of covering you going to have, man? Hey, because the first lockdown, right, a lot of people was losing it. But a lot of people turned into what? Tuned into the prophets, too. So at the end of the day, it's really the Lord setting everything up to ultimately magnify His word. At the end of the day, you're going to hear the Lord's men. You're going to take heed to the service of the prophets, whether you realize it or not. As well, real quick, and pull the definition of devil out, just real quick before we read the chapter. Right? There's a man, or I should say there's men on the earth that are actively fulfilling that role, man. Right? Just read it and get the word for devil from me.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So
in everything we address, he's getting ready to come down upon the planet because what? His time to rule is short. The Lord is about to strip him out of power. Now get that word for devil real quick. Definition C. It says, situated in the midst of the seas, he claims that he is a God sitting in God's seat. He's proud because of his wealth, which he increased through trade. You see? It says God tells him that he's a man and not a God. So let's read that, man. So this is most certainly dealing with the Edomite. There ain't no way around it, man. He's in the spirit of what? The Prince of Tyrus, man. So let's read it. Ezekiel 28, what's up?
Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the Prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God.
Right, the Lord's going to show you that you are nothing but a damn mortal man. Right, but his heart has become, like it tells you in Obadiah, through the pride of thy heart, it has deceived thee. You know, the pride of this man's heart has deceived him because ultimately he's built up in his mind because of what? The technology that he possesses, the weaponry, all right, his military, right? Remember, their military is 30, 40 years ahead of public knowledge, man. So a lot of this AI information stuff that they're rolling out dealing with the transhuman shit, right? They've been hacked this stuff, man. You know? But this is why they're able to openly tell you what? That human beings are no longer needed. We gotta reduce the population. We have the ability to hack a man's mind, to make him think how we want him to think, man. To wipe out his memory, his dreams, man. Right? This is the level that we're at, man. Read on, huh?
Hey, these devils, man, they trying to recreate existence, man.
Exactly.
They're trying to go in and destroy the spirit world. They're doing all type of manner of these different witchcrafts and things of that nature, these sorceries, to try to put themselves up on the pedestal of the Most High.
Yeah. That's the pride, man. You know, because a lot of those nuclear physicists or whatnot, them high-level scientists, those ain't nothing but warlocks and witches, man. Magicians, man. You know? You got it out.
Verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel.
See that? Thou art wiser than Daniel. Right?
There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
There you go. Give me Psalm 64 and 6. Right? There is no secret. Hey, this man does a diligent search. The depths of his wickedness is unsearchable, man. Yep.
Because this is really that son of perdition, man.
Exactly.
Order of wickedness. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. Who oppose it and exalt. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
Yeah, don't let no man deceive you by any means, man. Because even these people, they look at Falsey, Bill Gates, right? Elon Musk, right? They look at them as gods, as a prophet, so to speak. You know? Go ahead.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed.
That's right.
The son of perdition.
Yeah, the son of perdition, the Edomite, man. Doom and destruction. Read on.
Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped.
That's right.
So that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
That's right.
Just wanted to use that as a cross-reference to show the comparison between the Prince of Tyrus, right, and the son of perdition. They have a like mind.
Yeah.
Showing that this is Esau Edom. Right?
Yeah.
You see? Because only this nigga has gone to the length to make such, like as the brother was saying, trying to sever the spirit world. Got the nerve to utilize this technology and say, oh, if you want to live after you die, we can put you in a computer. Right. Why would I want to be stuck in a computer, bro? With all the sick ass shit that's on the web.
Right.
You see?
Ultimately, he's trying to sever you. He's trying to sever your spirit from the Most High. He's trying to cut your connection.
He wants to be God.
That's it. I got something real quick. Go ahead.
That's why scriptures say, man, he's giving them bounds that they cannot pass. Because if they can achieve everything that they wanted, man, they would destroy all of existence, man. There would be nothing left.
Exactly.
Because that's all this devil does, man. They steal, they kill, and they destroy, man. And everything that they perpetrate is death. So it would only be a matter of time before there was nothing left.
Yeah. That's why the end got to come. That's why the Lord got to bring the restitution of everything, man. Everything got to be refreshed. The great reset is going to come by the way of Yahweh Shah. Right? I got a quick precept. Okay? It's Isaiah 10. All right? Dealing with the king of Assyria, which could also be applied, all right, to Esau as well. Isaiah 10 and 13, it says, For he said, by the strength of my hand, I have done it. See? Once again, going into what? The pride. Esau thinks that he's doing everything, he's ruling the sword with the sword by the will of his own means. But really it's what? It's Yahweh Shemel Shah that's controlling. As we read on here. Isaiah 10 and 13, for he said, by the strength of my hand have I done it. And by my wisdom, for I am prudent. Right? Hey, the fool said that he's wise in his own eyes, right? You know? And by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a brilliant man, right? Going back to what? Jeremiah chapter 50. This man, this system is literally what? The hammer of the earth, right? I'm gonna read that part again. It says, I have removed bounds of the people. I have robbed the treasures, man. What is he? He's taken all the world's resources. He's hoarded all the nations. Ultimately, he's trying to issue out a digital enslavement on the planet, man. Right? You know, he's controlling the food, the water. We just talked about that earlier, man. Those who control the food control the nation, man. All right? Those who control the oil control the people. I removed the bounds of the people and have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. Verse 14, and my hand have found as nest the riches of the people, and one that gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth. You see that? You know? He heaped to himself all people, languages, and tongues. Right? This is that man. Right? The melting pot. It says, have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing or opened the mouth or peaked. Verse 15, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith, right? And that's the pride of Esau, right? Even though he's the sword of the Most High, but it's the Lord is the one that's yielding him, right? Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith, or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh? Right? It wasn't by Esau's mighty greatness and power, man. It says, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself, as if it were no wood, right? So ultimately, you're being controlled by the Lord, man. Right? The Lord is the one that gave you that power. And he's the one that's going to strip it from you, so go back. You told me something about? Go ahead.
Esau is just a tool to forward prophecy.
That's it, man. Hey, only he now will let it till he be taken out of the way. Read on, huh?
So Psalm 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Yeah, speak on it, brother.
Hey, man, these devils, like I said, they're diligent in their wickedness, man. They're gonna dig up whatever facts and figures they can find out, man. They're gonna run whatever test it takes in order to forward their agendas, man. Yeah.
He's figured out ways to alter your DNA, man, to change who you are. Right? This is why he's able to create genetically modified organisms, man. GMOs, man. Right? You eating meat out of a laboratory, man. Lab grown, bro. Right?
They said, and it was good, man.
Yeah.
Everything was good the way it was, man. But Esau was like, nah, it's not good enough, man. We gotta come in here and tinker and they tailor things in order to to destroy the people, man. That's all that these devils do.
Exactly, man.
That's a heavy point that you made mention of, bro. Because when the Elohim, the Yahushua and the angels were setting up the creation of the universe, for that 7-day period, the 6 days that we worked, every single day, it was good. The order that was established was good. It didn't need any type of work or revisions. You see? But this devil and his wicked ambitions drives him to go contrary to the natural order of the world, man. And that's why you see the state of the world.
Exactly.
Here it is, this nigga is putting fires in the ocean. The animals are being destroyed. The people are being destroyed. The families are being destroyed. The way of life is being destroyed. You have an all-out assault on gender identification, man.
On life itself.
Yeah.
It's an all-out assault. It's an all-out assault on life itself, man. And that shows you that this man is what? He's anti-life.
Right.
What's up, brother? Love you, man. I enjoy you.
This Isaiah, I want to add on to what you said before we go back to that. Right? Because the Lord clearly gives you definite characteristics through the spirit of this man. Right? Isaiah 26 in verse 9, and it reads, it says, with my soul have I desired thee in the night, yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. It's going to take the elect to get back in that proper power, in that position, for that the world to learn righteousness. Verse 10, the point, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness, man. Esau will not govern with the laws of the Most High. Right? The king of Tyre, as we were reading. Satan in a man's body. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. Right? Everything that he pushes, which he regards as law and order, right, is wicked. It's against the Lord. Same verse, it says, in the land of uprightness, he will deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord, Yahweh Shai. So everything when it comes to his law and order is against the scriptures, man. Right? And we're seeing that play out in the earth. Right? This is why everything is ending before your eyes, man. All things have come to an end. Right? Because of this man in his power and his rule. It says, Lord, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see and be ashamed for the envy of the people. Yea, fire of thy enemies shall devour them, man. Right? So let's go back to that.
It's Ezekiel Chapter 28, verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
That's it, go ahead.
With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches.
Yeah. And see, this is how he was able to accumulate the wealth. Right? You go into that word riches, it goes into his what? His military power. He was able to be the hammer of the nations, conquer the world. You know, his blessing was the sword, his technology. All right, he was able to accumulate wealth through fraud. Right, breaking treaties. You know, stealing. You know, read on up.
With thine wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver unto thy treasures.
Exactly. This is how they were able to have and maintain that power. Right? Read on.
By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Right, going back to his pride once again. Right? Through the riches and the accumulation of his wealth, he's lifted up. Right? Whole Revelation 6 on that, we'll get into the evil time, man. Because ultimately, going just referencing that chapter or that verse, Revelation 6 and 4, his blessing was the sword to take peace from the earth. That people should kill each other, man. Right? But he's gotten to this point through the wealth, all right, the technology, right, the advances in so-called science, right? Exactly. He's like, look, we don't even need people no more. You know, we could become cyber gods. He's trying to usher in a false pseudo kingdom through technology. Right? Read on.
Verse 6. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom.
Right, that's the other nations, man. All right? That's why World War III is going to be initiated. That's why it's going to be the end of this world. Right? He's not going to fully relish in his enterprise, man. This damn devil think he's going to have this technology in people's bodies and rule over you forever, man. Under the spiritual demon Satan. Right? This Edomite has lost his mind. So we know that the Lord is in the midst. We know the Lord is about to do a mighty work, man. Right? Job 20, was it Job chapter 20? The height of his sufficiency. We got to be there, man.
This nigga's plan, when you really evaluate this shit, it sounds crazy, but it's true.
That's it.
Like, this nigga is really, like,
He about that life.
It's a mental case nigga.
He about that life.
For real. Like, you gotta be really crazy to fathom what this man truly has planned for his quote-unquote new world order, man. Under the spiritual demon Satan, man. This man is a nutcase, man. He has to go. He has to be pushed out of the frame. And righteousness needs to be established, because look at the state of the world already. Do you really think that if he was given the ability to complete his enterprise, that shit would be better? That shit would change? It would get worse, man. You see?
Continuing on in verse 7. Behold, I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations.
Yeah, the terrible of the nations, man. Because, hey, little does this devil realize, hey, these nations are plotting a scheme. They're getting ready to turn their back on the whore, as it tells you in Revelation, the 17th chapter, man. These nations, all right, that are part of the EU or whatnot, they're going to turn against the war. Right?
China, the article just came out, they're planning an invasion, man.
Exactly.
If America comes and tries to help Taiwan, man. So these nations are coming against with the beast system, or they're coming against Babylon the Great to try to take their place inside this beast system.
Exactly, because Russia is demanding that all their payments be in the ruble, man. Right, and then you got the other nations that do business with Russia. They following suit. So what does that mean to the petrodollar?
If I can add on to you, bro, the spirit. That's why that fuel rationing is so pivotal right now. Because pretty much that fuel rationing, they can easily go to Russia and get the fuel. But it's a matter of Babylon saying, no, you're not going to do that. We're going to provide you. But here it is, they don't even have the means to provide for themselves, man. This nigga is at an end. And when that shit gets worse and progressively worse, hey, eventually you're gonna be like, man, fuck this nigga, man. Look at all the shit we in. Because we trying to be in bed with America, man. You see?
I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the sea.
Right, the destruction of Babylon will be televised, man. Pursuing the Revelation, the 18th chapter. Right? All nations gonna see it. You know?
I mean, when you go into, I believe it's Hosea 4:1, where it says the Lord has a controversy with this land, man. That word controversy goes into a prolonged public dispute, man. So it's about to be, everything is about to be made public with this devil's taking down, man.
Right. The Lord said in Nahum, was it Nahum the 3rd chapter, if I'm not mistaken, that he was gonna cause the witchcraft, the harlot of witchcrafts, to be a gazing stock. Right? When you look up a gazing stock, that means an horrible example. Right? That's how the Lord's gonna do this place, man. Like how you watch your TV, seeing, the missiles and rockets get launched in the Middle East. You seeing them Afghanis or whatnot, the Israelites, running for their lives and shit. It's gonna be like that here. And people across the world gonna be seeing that same shit happen over here. Right? Read on out.
Verse 8. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the siege.
Right.
Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am the Most High? But thou shalt be a man, and no God, in the hand of him that slayeth thee.
Right, so these damn elites, all right, these top devils, they're getting ready to be humbled. Right? They're gonna be ultimately humbled. Right? Because pursuant to the scriptures, they are gonna survive the nuclear destruction in those bunkers and them hideouts. But only to be the first fruits gathered up in slavery, man. Right? When the elect come out of them chariots post-destruction. Right? And them fishers turn into hunters. And we gonna get every last one of you goddamn devils, man.
That's right.
Right? Any more in there?
Verse 9. Verse 10, slightly. Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord power.
Right, so your loss is already prophesied, man. It's already been predicted. Right? You're not gonna win. Right? No matter how many goddamn supercomputers, all right, familiar spirits that you try to tap in with to alter the future, it ain't gonna happen. Right? Your destiny is already lined out in chalk, man. You see that? Any more?
Verse 11.
Read the 12.
Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord power, Thou sealest up the sum, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty.
Right, read down to like verse 15.
Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of the Most High. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl and the onyx, and the jasper and the sapphire, and the emerald, and the carbuncle and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created.
Right. Just getting into like the glory, all right, that this place, the allure that this place once had. Right? Give me Revelation 17 before it happens.
When you think about it, the lore that this place really had only was like 30 years.
Yeah.
Between the post-World War II all the way up to like the 70s.
Yeah.
That was really like the golden age of America, man. So really this place, man, this shit was, it really won't even, it really won't even happen like that. Really.
Lord dried this shit up, man. After the 90s, really that's when it was done. But give me Revelation 17 and 4.
Hey, that's spiritual. That's when the age of information happened.
Yeah.
The age of information really sucked the energy out of this place because what? It was just a flood of information. The truth, you could go on the unicorn.
Right.
The unicorn was widely available.
It couldn't hide behind them lies, man. People were able to research things, look things up. You got whistleblowers, you got all types of shit that happened over these unicorns, which was ultimately the purpose of the Spirit of the Lord putting in the minds of these devils to create this thing for the fulfilling of prophecy, His word.
That's right. What was another Rothschilds? He said, if I could go back, I would make sure the internet was never created.
Oh, James Rockefeller, right?
Because they know that this unicorn, man, is being used to spread the word across the globe, man.
That's it.
And that's how this time, or we know that these times are in the end times, right?
God, that's right.
Revelation.
You can start at the top.
Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore.
I will show you the judgment of the great whore. Babylon, man. Babylon the Great, America. Read on.
that sitteth upon many waters.
That sitteth upon many waters, meaning the people, nations. Right? Read on.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Right. We read that in Ezekiel 28. That was another aspect of how this place, right? Because this Babylon is really what's Esau spiritually. It's like Tyrus is spiritually Babylon and Esau, right? Synonymous. And really a lot of that wealth came from what? These different nations making deals, getting in bed with the whore, different deals and agreements, selling their nation out, you know, taking on the wines and philosophies to be like America, right? Read on.
If I may, a brother had done a video, I forgot the brother's name, but it went into how all the empires of the earth have followed this same game plan, man, where they get built up and then the other nations start to copy their customs and then eventually get taken over by those nations, man. So we're seeing that happen in America right now. The only thing is, no other nation outside of Israel is going to take over, man. Continuing on verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit unto the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right, read that again, Slakia.
God, it's Revelation 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman.
That woman is America. Babylon. Go ahead.
Sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
Right. The 7 heads. Right. NATO. Right. The European nations and whatnot. You know.
Full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right. The European nations. All right. The European Union, the EU. Right. Go ahead.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color.
Right. As we were reading in Ezekiel 28. Right, going into what? The rulership, the power, right, that Esau has, right? Read on.
And decked with gold and precious stones.
Right, decked with gold, precious stones, going back to the allure, right? On how Babylon is able to seduce you, man. Seduce the nations, right? Read on.
And pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Right, the filthiness of her fornication, the abominations and filthiness of our fornication going into what? That moral decay that I talked about, man. Right? Where a society loses its civic virtue, as it's stated. Right? It loses its moral values. That's why you got debates about the alphabet game using a damn men's bathroom or a woman's bathroom. On what type of curriculum can you teach children in schools? This is that place. The Satanism, the genocide, the lewd acts, the pedophilia. This is that place. This is how you identify that this place is Babylon. And Babylon the Great. Right? Read on.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots, and abominations of the earth. Right.
And all the abominations, all the idols, all right, from the other nations, they're all here, man. This place takes on all the idols and gods of all the nations within one. That's why it's called Babylon, right? There's all types of spirits that's out here that's consuming the minds of these people. This is why all this shit is happening in America and across the world, man. This is Babylon, the mother of abominations. Free will, right? That was it. Go back to that, go to that Revelation 6. I just want to make some points in there.
Revelations,
Yeah, from the top. Just want to make some quick points.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, Come and see.
Right.
And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him.
Actually, I was shy, man. Go ahead.
And he went forth conquering and to conquer.
He went forth conquering and to conquer. He's going to conquer the nations. Read on.
And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see."
That's right.
And there went out another horse that was red.
Right, that's that red horse. That scarlet colored beast. You know, Esau. You know.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Right, so he was given the power. He was given the power to bring the earth in the state that you see it now. Read on. It said to take peace from the earth. Read on.
And that they should kill one another.
Yep.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
Yeah, that they should kill one another. This is why you see wars everywhere, man. On every level. Right? Which the ultimate war of wars is going to be World War III. The War Armageddon. All right? The end all be all of everything that you see, man. Right? He was given a great sword. That's going back to the blessing.
Here it is. Here it is. Esau, this red horse. They're killing one another. You got these Edomites from all these different nations fighting to try and see who can come out on top.
That's right.
The stupidity of this nigga. He fighting himself instead of coming together. He gonna fight against himself to see who can come out on top.
Hey, that's why the scriptures say, Psalm 2nd chapter, why do the heathen rage? Right? But the fight is about global dominance, right? But at the end of it all, Israel is going to be the reigning power forever.
That's right.
You know? Go ahead, Al.
Verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see."
That's right.
And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
Right, and that black horse is symbolic for death. Look up balances real quick. Pull that in the blue letter. Right? Had a pair of balances in his hand. I believe that Greek word is like zygos, if I'm not mistaken. All right? He had a pair of balances in his hand.
The word balances is G2218, zygos, and it reads, a yoke that is put on a draught cattle, metaphor used of any burden or bondage.
Right, and who's the cattle? Jake. Going into what? Slavery. Right, which Jake is still in slavery today. Read on. Yeah, is there any more in there?
It says, troublesome laws imposed on one.
Woo! Troublesome laws imposed on one. What does that mean? Draconian. Right? This is the time we coming to. Hey, you ain't got the damn, you ain't got the juice for the through pops, right? We gonna double tax you. Right? You got to pay double the taxes at the end of the year. You can't get a job. You can't come in this building. Right? You can't leave your house. You saw what happened in Australia, or different parts overseas. Troublesome laws imposed on them. That's the time that's coming. Remember, hey, they want to have the whole world in slavery, man, in a digital slavery. This is what's coming. Read on out in that verse.
That's why they've given the world, or they're planning on giving the world health organization to give these laws through, man.
Exactly.
Whatever they say is going to be the law of the land.
They're going to be the law themselves. And people are unaware of that shit, man. But those are the troublesome laws that are going to be imposed on you, man. They're going to have the ability to declare what's right, what's wrong, what's endemic, what's not endemic, what's severe, what's not severe, why you got to be locked up here, why you can't. Come on, man. You got it. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This is from what the brother is referencing. The World Health Organization has begun drafting a demic treaty on demic readiness that would grant absolute power over global biosecurity.
Woo, man.
Such as power to implement digital ID, jab passports.
That's total control.
Mandated jabs, travel restrictions, standardized medical practices, etc.
This is the power they got, man.
I'm gonna keep adding to it.
You got it.
Now the biggest funder, ironically, the biggest funder of the World Health Organization is Bill Gates. You see, no coincidence there. Now, when you look at the treaty includes 190 countries, and it will legally bind them once that treaty is enacted. Now, the world really only has but 195 countries, so that's the whole